Recreating and reviving aspects of life during biblical times has become a near obsession here in the Holy Land. For example, in a suburb of Jerusalem, there is a museum that displays all the animals mentioned in the Bible. Some of them, of course, are stuffed animals. And the Temple Mount Institute in Jerusalem's Old City studies every aspect of the ancient Jewish temple, its architecture, religious objects, and its holy garments, that all in preparation for the third temple. But are there any limits, religious, technological, or ethical, to our drive to recreate biblical times? How do we integrate these ancient texts in our ever more modern life? And joining me to discuss all of that and more is Rabbi Yitzhak Marmerstein from the Rav Kook Institute, and Father Eben Kelly is joining me via Skype from the Magdala Center.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Thank you both for joining me. Rabbi Marmerstein, I want to start with you. Rav Kook had a very kind of clear vision of where we were going now that we're in the Holy Land.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, he put it, I mean, he's following the Torah's teaching that where we're going is the return to the Garden of Eden. History is coming to fix itself, and we're returning to the Garden of Eden, and Israel is playing a central role in that. And he called it, the phrase, and he wrote this in the early 1900s, Hayashan Yitchadesh, Achadash Yitkadesh, that the old will be renewed and the new will be sanctified, will be holy. And that fusion of drawing the core things from the past, and he identified, just to briefly summarize, he said that we're returning to the Beit HaMikdash, to the Holy Temple, it being the center of our spiritual and life in many ways. The Kohanim, the priests, will be once again doing the priestly work, but they will be not animal offerings, because we'll be returning to the Garden of Eden diet, which is a vegetarian diet. And along with that, we'll also be returning to a capacity for Ruach HaKodesh and Nevuah, prophecy, being able to communicate with God and hear God communicating with us, and that'll become our spiritual experience, more central than only the study of text as a connection. Will be the living experience with God. That's all coming back. And that's the best news is, and what's also coming back, is the universal state of ahavat chinam, that the love that's at the core of creation will come forth and will really return to a really loving planet, and ahavat chinam will overcome all the destruction of sinat chinam, needless hatred, will be replaced by unlimited, limitless love.
Right, it's a kind of utopia. Father Kelly, I want to bring you in here because Rabbi Marmerstein was talking really about, as I said, this kind of utopian vision. But what about the challenges between these ancient beliefs and our modern world?
That's a good challenge. From a Christian perspective, we're living really in three different times. We're in the past with the memory, and we're living the present, and we're looking forward to the full coming of the kingdom, which we already understand to be participating in by anticipation already, not in its full blossoming, in the victory of sin, of forgiveness over sin, and the victory of love over hatred.
You know, I started, our talk here with a discussion of limits. And when I think about the Temple Institute, for example, there are some who say we should not be preparing for the third temple. This is something that will happen when the Messiah comes. Is there, and we know the famous story in the Torah, right? When
Sure.
the sons of Aaron bring something to sacrifice and they are killed because it is seen as too much. Is there a line of too much?
Well, it's a careful moving forward that we need to prepare for this, and when the right time, we will be prepared. But it's interesting it's important to understand that the beginning of the Temple Mount movement was the Chafetz Chaim in the 1870s and 1880s, who started circles of Kohanim learning all the laws of the temple. Rav Kook in the first circle in preparation for this. So it's a matter of doing it in the holy way, but But for it to be done is an inevitability according to our understanding of history.
Right, and this is even something debated among Jews, right?
Of
there
course,
are some
everything is.
who, we like to argue, but there are some who say we shouldn't even be up on the Temple Mount because there are certain areas that were so holy, like the Holy of Holies, which, you know, we don't want to desecrate.
Right, but we've done extensive research where there's actually Rav Goren, Shlomo Goren, did extensive research. Where is the area of the holiness? And we can be confident. So it's a slow return. It's not done overnight, and we have to wait step by step.
Step by step. All right, this is a topic we definitely are going to come back to and talk more about as it's so relevant to our lives each day. Thank you so much for joining me, Rav Marmerstein. And Father Kelly, thank you so much as well. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We have so much more coming up for you on the Holy Land Uncovered. Stay with us.